Hello, welcome. Today this will be video 3 of lesson 4. This will be the last video of lesson 4, and it will be about exploratory approaches to determine which predictors to use. Well, first of all, kind of get the idea of this, we'll go to the various approaches you can use. One is the forward selection approach. Keep adding an explanatory variable to see if it explains the response variable, then use the overall F statistic to determine. So you keep adding them in, and then once your overall F statistic doesn't work anymore, you stop. The other one is stepwise regression. You do one step forward, see what you have, and then do one step backwards, throw one out, throw another one in, throw one out, and you kind of go until you reach an equilibrium. And today we're going to talk about the backward elimination method. So you start with all explanatory variables, and you calculate the t-statistic for each variable and throw out the one with the largest p-value, and you repeat, and you follow the process until all are below a certain threshold. So let's go ahead and remind ourselves of the story of Gideon. And so in some sense, Gideon employed the backwards elimination method with the help of God, kind of. It's a stretch, but I couldn't find a hymn about Gideon. There are a few songs, but didn't find any. So God told Gideon basically that people are too many for him. So he took his large amount of people, anybody who was fearful and trembling, he sent them home. So 22,000 left and 10,000 remained. And then had the idea about how they drank water. I'm not quite sure why it matters how you drink water, but of the 10,000, only 300 remained after they were left, and so that was his model. That was his army that was going to surprise the Midianites and rout them. So it's kind of the same procedure for us here. So let's go ahead to MiniTown. And let's again take a look at our log ratio part. You can kind of follow along this with 143. What I do is I look at my coefficients and say, okay, which one has the largest p-value? All right, so it looks like tumor has the largest p-value, so I'm going to throw that out. So I would go to stat regression and fit my regression model, except I'm going to throw out tumor and run the regression again. When I run the regression again, I look at my p-values and look for the largest one about a certain threshold, usually like 0.1. And here it looks like weight is the largest, so I'm going to throw out weight. So go to regression, throw out weight, and run it again. And now, which one should I throw out? Well, it looks like loss. And so I'm going to throw out loss in my regression model. So, bye-bye loss. And what I do is I keep doing this until I get a threshold level. The course pack suggests less than 0.10. So is there any here in the p-values that I would reject? You can pause and select. Well, it looks like days I could throw out, so I'm going to go to days and throw out the days and then see what I have. And now all my values are below 0.1, and so this is the regression model that I will use. And if you want to compare that with the one on the course handout, you can see that I just have time, treatment, and female left. And with these coefficients, these p-values, all these p-values are less than 0.1, and so that's the threshold I would do. So again, the steps are to run your model with all the predictor variables. If it's above the p-value of 10%, remove the single predictor with the largest p-value, and then repeat, and then stop once all the predictor variables have p-values below 10%. Okay, we're going to try this with